On the floor at TRE at the Nike booth, and we got a few different shoes to talk about today. Where are we starting?
We're going to start at the top, start with our fastest product, with the Alphafly 3. Yeah.
Fastest shoe in the world? Can we say that?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Tell us a little bit about this thing.
We don't have a new ingredient, but what we really feel like we've done the Alphafly 3 is optimize the system to make it our fastest marathon shoe ever. Kelvin Kiptum broke the world record in it. We've had a lot of other performances throughout the last year as it's been in development that kind of validate it at the very front of the pack. Also feel like the benefits that we built into this one are going to be even more applicable to athletes running 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4 hour plus marathons. So excited about what it's going to do to marathon running as a whole.
The Alphafly franchise,
yeah.
I mean, little history on it. It really kind of set the stage for what we know today as a fast shoe, right?
Yeah, so we're very proud to have started the Supershoe movement. We were way ahead of the curve. We invented it with the Vaporfly. Over time, the Vaporfly has become this really great versatile tool. People use it for training. They use it for anything from 10K to half marathon, marathon. That opened up space for us to push even further and be more true, more specific to a marathon supreme shoe. That was the birth of the Alphafly. So the 1 and the 2 did really great things. Eliud Kipchoge wore it to break the 2-hour marathon for the first time. Love that. And then for the 3, we thought, all right, how can we improve even further? You know, we like to say we never look back, we always look forward. How can we keep on improving? Athletes told us they wanted better transition, more support, and we also wanted to reduce weight. Weight is always the enemy of speed. So what you'll notice in the Alphafly 3, 1, a more continuous bottom. So we used to have a break between the forefoot and the heel after the AirPods. We went all continuous, which really helps with transition. We also have fleshed out the midfoot a little bit more to reduce some heel or some arch irritation and increase stability. So even those gods like Eliud and Kelvin break down a little bit later in the race, us mortals do it even more so. That stability is going to help you those later stages of the race, all while reducing weight 15%. So this is the lightest Alphafly yet. More supportive, better transition, same energy return, all while lighter weight, which we really feel like is going to help athletes everywhere break their personal records.
I'm curious, just, you know, when I go into a running store, I see the Alphafly, I see the Vaporfly, and I'm looking at those. What are the differences when you're looking at a shoe that you're going to step on to line with?
So we kind of break it down by race distance. There's always some preference in there, like what you like the feel of, but Vaporfly really is that 10K up to a marathon, very versatile racing shoe, great experience. It uses our ZoomX foam and our carbon fiber plate to propel you forward. The Alphafly adds in Zoom Air, and then the configuration of it is optimized to be even more protected to help you go 26 miles. Yeah.
You're a runner yourself?
I was, still running, asterisk there.
You're still running.
Yeah.
What about this shoe excites you the most?
Just the fact that what excites me most is how it's going to help all runners. I think that's what's been so exciting about super shoes is you used to go to a race and you'd see racing flats on the very first edge of the race, and then everybody else just gets into normal shoes because they couldn't race in those really light flats. What we're continuing to find is what helps the world's greatest athletes go even faster is applicable to all runners. So I am an old broken down runner, a lot of miles on the legs. These feel amazing. If we were back in racing flat zone, I couldn't wear them. My knees would be aching, I couldn't do it. It's exciting to see how fun these are. And we want to bring all runners into the sport. This is going to help everybody just enjoy running more, which is just great for everything.
In terms of the development of these and the iterations that you guys come out with, how challenging is it to kind of raise your own bar within these products every year?
It is challenging, but that's what makes it fun. If it was easy, I don't think we would enjoy it nearly as much. So it's a never-ending process. Whatever you see, we're working on the next one, kind of behind the scenes. But it's a labor of love. We get to travel to Ethiopia, Kenya, work with the world's greatest athletes, work with athletes all over the world, get their input. They get to tell us straight up, hey, you did better, you didn't do well. So it's very fun and very gratifying when you see, we get the thumbs up from them, and then even more when you see the results on race day.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But this isn't the only shoe we have today.
No, we got more. Yeah, head down to the trail world maybe.
Let's do it.
Cool.
We're talking fast performance on the roads. I'm feeling like we're a little grittier now.
Yeah, exactly.
Where are we at?
Literally dirtier. So one of the benefits we have when we look across all the different types of runs you could go on, all the different surfaces, is we identify an athlete problem, and then we can pull from different areas to say, what's the right technology to help us solve that problem? So as we've become more and more committed to trail running and serving trail runners, we said we need shoes that can help athletes go 50, 100 miles over super rugged terrain, still feel great. So those benefits were, can it be a lightweight shoe? You don't want to carry anything extra over that long of a distance. Can it give you energy back, because you need all the energy you can get? And can it feel really soft and cushioned? And when we thought about those problems, Zoom X foam, like we use in our racing product, really made a lot of sense, but we needed to put it in such a configuration that would work for trails. So what we did is, in the Zegama, we took Zoom X foam. If you imagine a boat, we took a canoe of firmer foam, and then we packed the inside of the boat with Zoom X foam. So vertically, you get great compression, protection. It's really lightweight, but around the perimeter, you have a protective foam to give you more stability, protect that foam from all the elements, sharp edges on the trail. Runners really gave us positive feedback on that experience in the Zegama 1. They did say, your traction needs to be a lot better. We heard that, we took it to heart, and we partnered with the best in the business in Vibram. So it was a true partnership. They came to campus, to the Nike campus, their designers and engineers, sat with our designers and engineers, took their expertise, their compounds, our design input, and made what we think is the best, most rugged outsole we've ever done, best in the industry. It uses their Mega Grip compound, formulated in a way that complements the cushioning and gives you supreme confidence and security. You're going to have the right grip on the trail.
Yeah.
So Zegama is named after a very famous village in Spain where people go on all kinds of crazy trail runs. We're really confident this shoe can tackle anything, any distance, any terrain. But also, again, if you're old and broken down like me, or you only want to go a little bit, the cushioning, the experience is fantastic. So it can stand up to that level, but translates to anybody as well.
So the variables within, a trail, ultra, I mean, you've got dirt, you got rocks, you got mud. I mean, throw in weather conditions, all that changes. Yep. So how, we're talking about iterations of shoes, and how is that process for a trail shoe like this and getting it to the place where it's out? So
we have testers all over the world. A little earlier, we had some of our elite athletes who talked about the test they put it through, which is extreme. So by taking a shoe like this, which is meant to be our most rugged shoe, it needs to stand up to extreme conditions. And if we know it can do that, it can last, for anything anybody wants to use, less than that. So it's really based on the shoe, what's it intended to do, hold it to that high bar, and then we know anything in between that and just getting out the door is going to be a cakewalk.
This is our second iteration of the shoe.
Second iteration of the Zegama.
So what are the people looking forward to the most this year in 24 with this?
I think the biggest one is building on the underfoot cushioning. We've made it a little bit more stable, but the big one is all that cushioning. It's going to be ultimate in cushioning protection for the trails, while also now being the ultimate in traction and grip.
In terms of distance, what's the range on this?
Anything you want to do. We'll have athletes run 100 miles, maybe even beyond in that shoe, so we know it can handle those extreme rigors. We've had athletes run in some of the most intense competitions in the world in it. So again, if you're going for a simple 10K on the trails like I am, it's been tested well beyond that.
And mileage-wise, how many miles are you putting on this before you might look at getting another?
Durability is always such an individual thing. I bet you get a lot more miles out of your shoes than I am, especially now I'm getting a little bit bigger. So it's hard to say like, hey, this is the exact mileage, but it will hold up really well. We know Vibram lasts a long time, and this foam configuration is really going to stand up. It starts at such high level of performance, even when it starts to degrade a little bit, has an amazing experience.
Nice. So this isn't the only trail shoe that we have coming out in 24, more. Is that right?
Yeah, so even before the pandemic, we started to see this rise in trail running participation. And then once we locked everybody inside, they're like, hey, I gotta get outside. I really want to enjoy nature. So there's this huge rush and growth in trail running. And a lot of those people are like casual trail runners, new trail runners, and it can be a little intimidating. So we want to create a shoe that is an invitation for everybody to get out onto the trails. It made a lot of sense to use the Pegasus as the base franchise for that. It's our longest running, one of the most famous shoes in the running world. Now how can we make it right for the trail so everybody feels like that's a shoe for them? So that's why we have the Pegasus Trail. It can stand up. It's one of the shoes our elite athletes use in their quiver, but if you're just getting out into the trails, it's a great solution for you as well. So for the Pegasus Trail 5, two of the big updates. One, we wanted to make sure we were improving both performance and sustainability. We're hearing from all runners sustainability is a really important factor for them. People who enjoy being out on the trails also have an even more special connection with nature. They want to do right by the planet. But when push comes to shove, they're not going to take an inferior product just for sustainability. So we need to improve both performance as well as our sustainability scores. So we used React X foam. This replaces our previous foam in React. It is 13% better in energy return. So every time you compress the shoe, it's giving you 13% more energy than our previous Stellar React foam. And yet, it has 43% lower carbon scores than React. So you're normally looking at single-digit improvements to try to eke out gains in those two metrics. Huge double-digit growth feels really good for us. And the durability of this foam has been very highly praised by our wear testers, which also factors into sustainability. You buy less, there's a lower impact. We feel really good about that.
Yeah.
And then similar to the Zegama, we heard pretty loud and clear from trail runners, hey, we want you to be better in traction. So in-house, we developed a new compound called Nike ATC, all-terrain compound, with a new lug design that we know is going to give you even more confidence, even more security, and better grip out on the trails. So you're going to see that proliferated a little bit more throughout the trail line as well, improving on what runners love, and also tackling a few of the opportunities they told us they wanted to see improved. Yeah.
Nike, I have to say, probably always really well known for their color choices and palettes, right? What do I see here? It's a really pretty cool mix.
One, thank you. And I have to shout out our color designer, Mika Russo, is the best. She really is the best in the business. And I think you're just going to see a celebration of like the fun and the attitude that comes out in the trail. We have some really cool stories. This one in particular, we call it If You Know, You Know. So we celebrate different trails around the world to tell a little bit of a little appreciation for where people might be going. And like it says, if you know, you really celebrate that particular trail. And if you don't, it's just a really great, fun trail, fun color that makes you want to get out the door. It's one of the metrics we always use is this make me excited to get out the door and go for a run. And I think our trail line is doing that better than anywhere.
And they all blend well with mud, I'm sure.
And once they get dirty, somehow they get prettier. Exactly. Yeah.
So if I'm in Portland visiting the area and I want to get out to Forest Park, I mean, this Peg Trail, is that?
Peg Trail would be amazing. Yeah. Well, and Forest Park's a good example of where you might use everything. So Leif Erikson, Peg Trail is a great shoe for that. You get up onto the wildwood, some of the more extreme parts, I would use a Zegama. If you get there this time of year, you might use the Peg Trail Gore-Tex because you're definitely going to get rained on in Oregon. So wherever you're going and whatever the conditions are, we got a great trail shoe for you.
Cool. Awesome line.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for going through this today.
Thanks, Ryan. Yeah. Talk soon.
Yeah.